Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Curse of the Pirate Coast, where I'm not 100% clear on the scale of things, apparently. I zoomed in on this, I thought this would be a cool shot for the opening, and then I was like, wow, look at the size of that eagle, that's a big eagle. And then I realized, look at the size of that Alarielle. She is standing on the ground, and her head is level with the head of the giant flying eagle. She's like 50 feet tall. How did we ever get this sword away from her? Look at Silastra. Look at Silastra. She's as small as that little elf there. It's ridiculous. So we have some business to conclude with Miss Alarielle here. Hopefully this will be the last time I have to do this. Do we even want to manual this though? Like, yeah, I probably do, because I want to make sure that we stay in good shape, as good as possible. Because I would love to also do the quest battle this turn, get access to that other Necrofex Colossus, and then merge it into Obone's McDonald's army so that he can defend against the Skaven a little bit more effectively. We're going to be able to build a Necrofex Colossus in the northern armies the old-fashioned way, by just actually recruiting it from a recruitment building. So I think it makes the most sense for the Regiment of Renown one to go down south. We're also going to have to figure out, like, how I'm going to hold the south until Silastra can get down there. Because things are, I would say grim is a fair descriptor. We're having some problems down there. There's just a huge number of Skaven in that jungle. So many. Alright, well obviously we're not going to gamble on 30 Winds of Magic. I don't know. Obviously we want to take advantage of this nice flat, no trees area. But the hills here are a little bit awkward too. I kind of think maybe we want to start pretty far back. Something like that, maybe? The hill's still obstructing a little bit, but enemies become visible pretty early. If we have Silastra on this side so that she can summon crabs right in front of the enemies and stuff, I think this should be fine. And then we can put the artillery... We put the artillery behind the gunners. Does the Queen Bess? Yeah, the Queen Bess has, like, crazy range. This will be fine. I don't think the Necrofex Colossus is going to be quite as effective, especially with the hill, but it can shoot at the dragons and stuff as they come over. And then we'll just keep some Sirens. Actually, Depth Guard and Sirens over here, ready to move up if they have to, I guess. Maybe a little bit further back. I don't want to be shootable from the other side of the hill, right? Some more Sirens over on this side. This side's, I think, probably a little bit less vulnerable. I want all of the Depth Guard over here, but I actually want the polearms to be on the outside, I think, to discourage cavalry flank. And then Will the Treacherous knows what his job is, and Robert can also ride out from this side, because this side is wholly protected. Silastra has this under control. Alright, so... Are there any sisters in this army? Doesn't really look like it. I guess I don't really care where we shoot. Just kind of fire wherever. This should be pretty effective. Yeah, that was alright. Let's keep them disrupted here. Alright, they're starting to move. Let's see if we can shoot down a dragon with this cannon. He missed. He 100% missed. Well, that's embarrassing. So yeah, they're winging all their fast units out around the side. This is to be expected. I don't know if it's actually going to turn out to be that great of a plan for them. Alright, so let us have some focus here. I'm way more worried about the dragon than I am the phoenix, and I think that's true on both sides. I'm not sure there's going to be a lot left of their melee by the time they actually get up here. I might want to have... I'm going to have the Colossus probably change targets, aim front again. We'll just pound these guys down. I'm not too worried about the shooting him into the other stuff. He should have that shot, right? His cannon's a little bit raised. Yeah, he has that angle. Okay, so we did not actually get everybody with the shoot orders. Let's go ahead and have these guys aim this way as well. I'm just thinking that if we have an odd number of rifles, we should split them favoring this side because Silostra has this under control. You guys can kind of form up a little bit. Robert, honestly, can just ride on these dudes. Like, Robert's got it. Well, we have to be a little bit careful about the dragons, though. The dragon and the phoenix are both potentially dangerous. Actually, maybe do that a little bit more like that. Just try to guard this. I'm going to have Robert ride back to protect against the flank. The ultimate protection. Because I really don't want to get him one-on-one with the dragon. He's a combat monster. He has done some fine work. But this is just not ideal combat for him. I should probably be using Arcane Conduit. I should also be shooting my magic sword at people, although shooting my magic sword at cavalry feels a little bad. Kind of just letting me shoot him. Okay. Here we go. I see this. I see what you're doing. Alright, hold up. Before we do anything else, let's make sure the other side is also being treated sensibly. We gotta get a charge in here. I'm not too worried about that guy. Those guys are enraged by the Sword of Cain, so we should expect them to charge forward a little bit faster. I'm not sure that I aimed forward enough here. Dragons are all in danger. Yeah, this is going all right, and Silostra is actually done casting that spell, so this seems like a fine time to get the knights out. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Looks to me like Robert can ride out this way safely. Actually, maybe he just... I know the Phoenix does magic damage and everything, but I also don't think it's a very good fighter. You guys have at them. Telostra's in there doing her thing, tearing enemies apart, as she does. Buffs for everybody who happens to be nearby. Look at the cowardice over here. Just the open, naked cowardice. Throw a grenade at those guys. Alright, my depth guard are getting sandwiched a little bit here. Alright, hold on a second. Just these guys need to get retargeted, probably that way. Will is maybe not shooting ideally here. Silostra is getting distracted. She loves the thrill of the chase, you know? These sirens can ride forward and do some of this stuff. You guys should all try to reform. There's no reason for anybody to just sit and fight the Phoenix. Is that... Okay, that's a chariot-mounted lord. That's large. Cannons are good against large. Alright, I'm a little worried about the depth guard, but they're probably fine. I don't know why my units were supposed to be attacked. They're just kind of standing there in the ranged. Alright, that Phoenix is looking like it's in pretty bad shape. Probably refocus the gunnery white over here, although it would be really cool. I would throw a grenade first. See if he actually throws that or not. And then, I suppose, I'm going to try to pull the sirens out and cast a Vangeist's Revenge through this area. This might take too long to go off. It is certainly visually impressive, though. You can't say it isn't. Does Phoenix hate living? Okay, it did some damage. Alright, everybody, you got him. You got him. Let him go. Okay, there goes all that. That should be the end of that one. And now they were in encampment mode. I believe you do not get a withdraw from encampment mode either, so I think their army is just dead. We took a little bit more damage there on some of our actual units than I would like. We could just sit for a turn, right? We don't have to take the quest battle right now, but sitting for a turn is non-ideal as well. I really want to just get out on the ocean and finish Lothern off. My life is certainly going to get easier if I don't have to defend the southern shore of Lothern, or the southern shore of Ulthuan. And with the Dark Elf faction down there being at peace with us, Lothern is the only real threat in that direction. Of course, the other ones could just redeclare war on us at any moment, as they are, you know, want to do. Sometimes it happens. But we'll just hope that they have more sense in their heads than that. Boy, this is taking a long time to load out. I don't have anything. I don't have a vamp. I just think we're just gonna sit here and watch this bar fill up. Boy, that feels like a metaphor for my life. We are pretty close to finishing off leveling up her army. Like, almost her entire army is gold ranks now. I'm always afraid to commit the Polearm Depth Guard, which is really causing them to lag behind in development. Wow, that is like no replenishment at all. There's no sense taking that. Well, we got ourselves a Dragon Helm. It's a shame that isn't any good. Oh, nope, I was wrong. They do get to fall back. Well, we gotta finish them off, right? We gotta finish chasing them down. I guess, you know what? You can teleport back to battles like that. And again, the auto-resolve has punished us enough times that I'm worried that if I hit auto-resolve there, it would kill these half-dead units of Sirens. So we're just going to go ahead and load into and out of another battle for very minor benefit here. But you can actually always just teleport back to a quest battle, as long as your army is not in any stance other than the normal one. So we don't actually have to take this quest battle now. We could finish up this Alarielle stuff and get moving, and then, like, next turn, since we're going to get some replenishment in the sea anyway, next turn just pay the 500 gold and teleport to the quest battle and then back. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if I like that system. I kind of like the things that really make you want to quest an army across the land, like the Bretonnian end of campaign battle that requires you to actually travel to it. It's a cool thing. You have to, like, make travel preparations, and there's a whole layer of logistics there. A little bummed out about the ease of the teleportation. Do we start up here on the hill, I guess? I think I want to do this and then just, like, get up to the crest as quickly as possible. Basically, you guys just want to be right here. Delastra can lead, because we really shouldn't take any damage on any of our actual people. And the Necrofex Colossus probably needs to be over here. He needs to get an open shot. Make sure that we've assigned some movement orders that make sense. I think I'm just going to kind of have Celastra ride on him. You can probably get this done pretty quickly. Okay, good shooting. I mean, these cannon abilities are doing something, I guess. I don't think they're great. Stop walking, start shooting. Yeah, Salostra's got that 100% under control. Yeah, they really had no interest in the orders I was giving them there, huh? That's alright, this'll be over quickly. They do not have the health to survive an actual cavalry charge. Get Robert over here, he can handle that. Yeah, they it takes a long time for your rifles to decide that they care at all about your shoot orders. Like, hey, I was already walking here, man. I'm just gonna finish that, if you don't mind. I'll just have Robert deal with these guys instead. These two guys over here. These crabs aren't even really necessary. I just, like, why not, right? Okay, are we done with this nonsense? Oh, the Phoenix was reborn successfully. I'll worry about him later. Okay, he's got it. It's under control. We'll give him a little help. I think that won't hit him? Yeah, okay, we're good. Huh, remarkable that these guys just keep coming back, even after being broken. Just never want to stop fighting. Alright, Celestia's actually on Alarielle now. This should be pretty fast. The artillery units are all using Robert for practice. These guys all die? They did. Alright. I can't believe that, these guys are still around. These elves are behaving a lot like Skaven generally do, with the breaking and returning and breaking and returning. Robert is not the ideal target for fighting a Phoenix, but whatever gets it dead. So the way the Phoenix works is every time it goes down to 0 health, there's a small chance of it being reborn. In theory, you could have a Phoenix that just fights forever. I think. I don't think there's any limit to the number of times it can happen. But the chance of it happening is not super high, and a single Phoenix by itself doesn't really do that much. They're not as bad as Eagles, but they're not great. The thing that's really useful about a Phoenix, actually, I think it's this kind of... Because they have two different Phoenixes? Phoenixes? I don't know. They have two different ones. One of them has a whole bunch of bombs. You just fly it over the enemy and drop a bunch of bomb charges. And I thought it was this one, but we haven't seen the enemy actually do that at all. And I think that's really what they're for. They're sort of like gyrocopters. I don't know. Maybe good, like, competitive multiplayer high elf character players use the Phoenixes differently than I do. Hopefully that's actually the end of that army, though. Because I would love to get Celestia into the ocean and moving as quickly as she possibly can to the south. I would love to have her peel off and attack the exotic goods hauler, but I think getting distracted by money is what caused us to lose control of Ulthuan in the first place. Oh, these are both bad rewards. Alright, well. No? Still she lives. Alright. For real, that's enough. That army didn't even actually have a lord, it was just the Phoenix. Alright.
like moi.
Robert. What on earth was I even doing? Oh yeah, specialist. Okay, so we sail hard south. This is my sea region, so we will get replenishment in it. And then next turn we'll turn off our stance and we'll teleport to the quest battle and do it. We may as well be at full. You were headed towards some kind of new treasure area. Oh right, the volcano. That's gonna be a walk.
En route. Good. I hunger.
Do I have enough movement to wound her?
All ship shape.
Yes. Awesome. That'll show them. Hopefully all this stuff is endearing me somewhat to these guys.
Seen their king.
Huh? You know, we're improving toward -1. That number is almost not negative. It's very close.
It shall be done.
Okay, obviously this should be pretty straightforward.
Fight.
I don't know what we're going to do with Burke's army exactly. I guess actually it makes the most sense to put the banner, the speed banner, on Peggy herself. But we don't need to manual this. We have seen these battles many times.
More power.
Right, hopefully that'll be that entire faction's military for the moment. What does loyal to the end actually do? Okay, at rank 30 you can just get the ability to never have to think about loyalty again. That's not really a problem for her. It feels like any pirate lord that you take that has the gains loyalty from fighting skill is going to be, her trait is going to be just fine. So we could buff up the speed and melee attack of... Oh, the Overcast version is an area thing. Yeah, actually that's pretty good. I've never been a big fan of the magic missile type spells. At some point we need to get her mount, but honestly, I'm not too stressed about it. I want Winds of Death pretty bad. Wind of Death is it does an impressive amount of damage. And somehow we have not lost the monoliths. I'm not really sure why Malekith is allowing me to keep it. So the question here is, like, do I advance on him? His army is probably pretty well appointed. He himself is pretty strong. Attacks cause the discouraged effect, and he has the destroyer ability. Which just, yeah, pulses plus item cooldown time. We saw that when he attacked Celostra's army. I kind of want to have Burke Black's army sit still somewhere for a minute and summon a Necrofex Colossus, right? It's going to take 2 turns of replenishment. Oh, actually, the Monoliths is about to rebel. I guess that's where we can do it. We'll just chill out in the Monoliths.
Admiral of the fleet.
We may as well tax it since it's going to rebel whether we do or not.
The sea knows
And
my
then
fate.
right here... who's getting kicked out? It's probably a gunnery mob, right?
The seas are
Let's bring in one of these guys. And then actually, I should cut... As long as we're sitting and replenishing, let's cut all of the normal deckhands and replace them with Sirens. And then, do I want to use any of this other stuff? We have some Rotting Prometheans available. I haven't been wild about those so far, but... it's possible we haven't really given them the fair shot that they deserve. If I'm going to be sitting still for 2 turns, I can also grab another... Yeah, let's kick out this gunnery mob. We can grab another mortar from the global pool in 2 turns. And then... I like having a polearm unit, but... Man, pirate deckhand mobs feel bad. Also, I do still have to, like, have a whole lot of Sirens in my armies in order to win eventually. It would be cool if we had some high-level Siren units that we could rely on sticking around. Okay, so we're going to really buff up our long-range attack power and our melee here. Our medium-range gun core is still going to be the gun core, because it's, I mean, why mess with such a good thing? And then we have these guys to think about. So they hate us. I'm not going to be able to get, like, negotiations going with them. I'm just thinking, in this case, that they're clearly not intending to do anything other than run around our territory. And that makes me think that the moment there's an opening, the moment they see an opportunity, they're just going to try to burn something. They're going to try to take a city. So, cut that guy as well and replace him with a bloated corpse. But it seemed like getting the animated Hulks was worthwhile. So I'm wondering if we should just nip this in the bud now. I guess, wait, is this the faction that was sailing across the ocean to fight the Bretonians? My concern is that if we move Peggy away now, they may take this opportunity to go after Slaver's Point.
Another victory.
And their force is pretty weak. Yeah, let's just nip this nonsense in the bud. None of my allies have chosen to become involved in this dispute. So it's just a bunch of archers and stuff, yeah. The Balance of Power bar does not have a lot of faith in my ability to pull this off, but I have to think we're going to do alright here. This is a lot of really weak, bad units. Also, just a straight line corridor I think is pretty good for my strategy. We're going to have a hard time advancing through the wall of gunfire. I wonder if their bows outrange us, we could see some trouble from that, but I think that's the only way, realistically, that we take any meaningful damage here. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to be able to check, because their bow units have stock. Alright, well. So we just set up our gun line. Cross the ground here. Mortar's right behind. And I mean, that's it, pretty much. That's the strategy. You guys up here to help you advance. And then the rest of the normal melee. And also that guy just kind of across the back. I think that's it. Now it is on us to advance. And honestly, I don't think, like, the terrain ahead of us is not great. This is not bad. I guess, hold on. Are they coming to me at all? Because if they're going to move forward, I'll just let them move forward. But you can see here, the artillery range is a lot shorter than the length of this battlefield. Okay, they're just going to come to us. Cool, I will just sit and wait. Turn these units a little bit. Adjust these cones a little bit so that we have a little bit better center crossfire. They don't have any Cygors or anything. They have no long range at all. So it really makes no sense for me to do anything other than wait for them to walk into mortar range and just let the mortars do the mortar thing. Actually, you know what? I guess we should probably move Peggy down. If we're not going to be advancing, I'm going to move Peggy down toward the center of the army. She should be able to cast on people a little bit more effectively. We have Drowned Dead that we can bring up in front of the enemies. Bloated Corpse. I guess the Bloated Corpse can just advance now. And there's not even any enemies that I think are particularly dangerous. Mortars should really just fire at whatever they can hit. They're not too far from gunnery range, although realistically they're going to have to get a little bit closer than that before we start shooting. Yeah, I don't know about that balance of power prediction. This seems to me like it should be pretty easy, and it makes me nervous whenever the balance of power prediction is way off of my own prediction, because it makes me think that I am maybe missing something. Try to hit the bulk of their force here, I guess. Might as well pop that. Oh, this isn't bad. Let's take this. Yeah, that was alright. I'm gonna have the animated Hulks fall back. Not that I think that they're necessarily in a huge amount of danger from the enemy spears. But those enemy spears are the units that will be most effective against them, and we could just use a mob of garbage deckhands to solve this problem. Yep, and we just kind of watch a lot of this unfold, I think. This is not really going the way they were hoping it was going to, I think. I don't know, you guys could run down here and, like, flank? This is sort of what I was expecting to happen.
Save my sword!
Oh, this is going to be brutal. God, look at the size of those guys. I underestimate the, like, the hugeness of our units sometimes. Because I don't spend a lot of time zoomed in. With an army that is this heavily ranged. Oh. Oh, they were able to walk around the side over there. Interesting. I was not paying attention to this at all, because I thought we were up against the wall. Well, okay. You guys should fall back. You guys should aim that way. And let's get our lord over there. See if we can't wrap this up a little bit. Turn off... Oh, no, sorry, that's Forbidden Rod. That's not the one that disables miscasts.
Arise to my dominion!
Okay, I might lose a unit of rifles here. Not ideal. The rest of their army is completely dead, though. Keep doing your best to retreat. I see a lot of stuff over here that's not permanently broken yet, so I'm not going to have the artillery and stuff. Well, I'm not going to have the gunners turn. The artillery absolutely should turn. It's like fire here-ish. Okay. These guys managed to get back. Try to summon some new dudes on the flank here. There we go. I had to screw up pretty badly for us to take any damage at all. I really don't know what that balance of power calculation was. And even then, with a screw-up that you would not be super wrong to call monumental, we still came out of that with 74 total losses. I think I had been undervaluing the deckhand summon. Like, the deckhands are garbage units, no doubt, but being able to just suddenly have melee somewhere is pretty useful. Especially melee you don't have to care about, you can just fire your artillery into. Now, I believe the Red Horn tribe did have a second army. Somebody sailed across the sea to try to go to Bretonnia, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been the other Red Horn army. This is what happens when you record only an hour of gameplay a day.
I am your mistress.
Yeah, we'll take the money. I'm in friendly territory. I'll just heal it all off real fast. Pick up evasion here. We're very, very close.
They are sharp.
We can just barely attack them again.
Spoils for all.
We're going to manual it just so that I don't lose those units of rifles. I'm not even really that worried about rehiring them, but it would be cool if I could just keep the little bit of veterancy that we've built up. And then hopefully this will end the challenges to this region for the next few turns. I think we've defeated everybody over here on or near the Eastern Island. We still obviously have to deal with Malekith, and that's going to be non-trivial. But if he lets me finish recruiting, what's-his-face, Burke Black's army is going to be in really good shape. Okay, this seems pretty good for us. So, I'm going to be more attentive to the flank, to our flankability. You guys over here. And where is... let's have her front and center. Okay. This should be pretty straightforward. Straightforward enough that I'm going to run it on fast forward at first. Victory is in our grasp. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Powers of the deep.
Not going for any flanks.
Fleet, Admiral! Shut below!
Let's kill their lord real fast. That should be easy enough. Let's grab these guys. Nope, that is not what I wanted. Shift selecting things actually on the ground is prone to failure. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you would like it to go. Oh, shoot those guys. Whatever, man. Shoot whoever you want. Okay, seems like we are probably not going to be taking any damage on our range this time. Hey, look at that. I'm doing, like, kind of an acceptable job. And because we're able to fire over our deckhand units, we're actually able to shoot these guys while engaged with them. A little concerned about that. You just shoot them in the back, make sure they keep fleeing. I don't like it when they flee through us. The animated Hulks are doing an alright job over here. Okay, hopefully that'll be the end of that. That's a little bit closer to how the first battle should have gone. I should not have lost even a fraction of what we did lose in that first battle. And we're getting some pretty good ranks on some of these rifles. Unfortunately, Peggy's not going to be picking up any any of those Redline rank 7 veterancy buffs anytime soon. But still, all the extra accuracy means a lot when you're talking about 160 guns per unit. Honestly, I think, like, with a lot of factions, you don't feel the veterancy buffs all that much. I think dwarves are a great example of this, where, like, dwarves get tougher as they gain veterancy, as does everyone, and they get a little bit better at killing, but they don't get that much better at killing, and they're already so naturally tough that it doesn't feel like much changes.
Admiral of the fleet.
I hate this thing where enemies just infinitely get to retreat from lost battles. There should be a serious lack of cohesion over there. Alright, actually, we should hold on. We should move her somewhere. She shouldn't just end her turn there. The thing is, if I'm going to push them in a direction, I do want to push them upward toward Karen Carr. So actually, I think here is fine. We'll just go into encampment mode. Some buffs in case they decide to counterattack or they have another stealthy army nearby or something. Okay, this raised dead pool doesn't really have anything notable in it. Let's talk about dealing with Lord Skrolk.
Not for us.
His army's in pretty rough shape.
The sea knows my fate.
We have an acceptable but not awesome army to challenge it with, but I have absolutely no ability to move anywhere. We're not going to be able to get to him. You can see the little red at the end of the arrow there, indicating that it would take a second turn of movement to reach him. So I think what we do is just march mode over to the floating pyramid, so that the floating pyramid at least is not going to fall in a ridiculous attack. And Lenny's turn already happened. The Clawed Coast is going to freak out. We know that. We're ready to deal with it. This doesn't feel like everybody. Did we actually move everybody already? Oh, what about Cat? Cat Rains has her full movement allotment available here. We could sail around and try to get, like, treasure with her. It looks like Malekith isn't coming south. So what do? Nobody's coming up from the south, nobody's coming down from the north. So what do we do with Cat Rains? I think I do want to keep her army around. Actually, hold on a second. If we were going to summon another lord... 3540? Okay, that's fine. I'm just thinking we probably want to start another army down in the south. And if that was going to be prohibitively expensive, then getting rid of Cat Rains would maybe be a reasonable way to allow us to do that. But it doesn't look like that's necessary. I guess let's move to the Shrine of Cain. If they come down from the north, that's where they're going to do it to. Or maybe even she should chill at the Phoenix Gate. It'll give her a little bit more ability to respond to both sides. We'll have enough knowledge of people coming from the north that should still give her time to respond. So yeah, we'll just move her in the direction of the Phoenix Gate for now. I think that's like my whole plan. And then let's just assess the damage here. Broken Lands is miserable, not a big surprise. Yeah, we're gonna need more. Gonna need more good buildings. We also don't really need that building. Kirnock is red, but trending pretty positive. Yeah, we don't have to worry about this. Where's White Peak? White Peak is kind of in the center of our empire. It's probably not necessary to build walls there. It's close enough to a gate that it's easy to retake, so instead we probably want to just build a money building. We could... Oh, you know what? If I get this... Oh no, that does not increase the number of gunnery wights you can recruit. It just allows them to be recruited here. So we don't actually benefit from that. We do benefit from... Well, hold on. Before I spend any money on buildings, any more money on buildings, I probably do want to hire another army, so... This raised dead pool is 2537. In theory, this one's a little bit better. Let's get ourselves a new lord over here. Airy Kelpclaw. We want somebody who gains loyalty from winning battles. Yeah, Brute is good. Dicky the Treacherous of the Wind of Death. Which wind are you? You're Deeps. So I kind of want a Lord of Vampires down here. Having somebody with the lore of vampires to run Invocation of Nahek is super good. So you're a Brute, you love sacking, raiding. Okay, Henrietta the Brine is looking like a strong choice. Who else is vampires? Peter Sharp. Gain loyalty from constructing coves is probably not going to get a lot of play. Isabel the Creeper. Okay, that's her. Her loyalty's a little bit lower, but I think she's about as good, except she has lower starting loyalty. So, Henrietta the Brine it is.
Admiral of the fleet.
All right, what's in the raised dead pool? Not actually anything good. Well, let's grab these. And let's talk about local recruitment.
We should act now.
Should probably grab that. And then also a couple of turns worth of these. We're going to need rifles. This is an okay start to an army. That's 2 reasonable turns. I pulled the handgun mobs out of the raised dead pool here because I'm hoping to have it refresh them. I'm not going to summon anything else out of the raised dead pool because I don't want to pay the upkeep and I don't care about having more of these than are currently visible. Just in case you were wondering why I grabbed some stuff but not all the stuff. And with that, we are good to spend money on buildings again. So let's first of all start trying to rebuild the walls here. We're going to need those. We should start getting a garrison building up there as well. Pahuax is now max level. What do we want in Pahuax? We already have a garrison building. I guess I have no idea what I want here. Oh, probably this is what we want. We want to actually be able to make local recruitment of siege stuff. So when we get a little bit more money, that's what we'll do. Oh, actually, we have a little bit more money. Okay, this is a pretty good recruitment region now, actually. We need buildings that increase our local recruitment capacity. I don't know... We have a building that does that. Sometimes you can get it from the green buildings. Nope, looks like no. Do any of these buildings have any effect other than allowing you to hire units? Nope, we just have bad... Yeah, we just have bad local recruitment with this faction. That's fair. You have access to the raised dead pool, so your need for local recruitment is a little bit lower. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I think this is the turn as it stands. So we are 2 turns off of having an expanded garrison in this region. Unfortunately, probably more like 8 turns, 7 or 8 turns away from having actual walls on it again. Ah, well. And that is actually everybody that time, right? Eve is out for 4 turns, Tim is out for 3. How do you get more gunnery white capacity? I would love to have another gunnery white or 2. Oh, you know what? I think it's a cove building. There was a cove building that made it so you could summon more Haunters and Gunnery Whites, I think. So we could send, when Eve Hodgson comes back, we could send her around the world installing that cove building in any enemy ports that aren't making good money. Huh. Well, I guess it's better for him to do it now than for him to wait, but I'm not 100% sure I understand this. The monoliths don't have walls, it looks like. Who wants to cause terror? Who does not currently cause terror, who wants to cause terror? Actually, do you? You cause fear, but not terror. And you cause both from equipment. So actually, yeah, we don't have a ton of melee in here. These guys already, yeah, those guys already cause both. I'm going to give plus leadership to... I don't even know. Honestly, like, these guys are the ones who need it most. It would be really, really bad to lose my my Garrison Whites here. Or my Garrison Mourngulls. I kind of want to just auto-resolve this because it looks like the auto-resolve will handle it, and I don't think this is actually going to be a terribly fascinating battle. We're going to shoot down the Manticores. I'm just going to auto-resolve. Yeah, that's somewhat how I thought it would go. You'll lose your melee. I would probably have taken more damage on the Haunters because I would have been a little bit more aggressive with them. But I just, like, I don't understand that attack at all. I don't see how he thought he was going to be able to win that. That feels desperate to me. Oh, and he did, in fact, send one of the... Okay, well, fortunately, our army in that area is, like, very ready for that. Yeah, I don't understand why he attacked like that. It seems very strange to me. Merging up into the army to replace all of the stuff we killed. And then they didn't actually go anywhere. I think that makes that army pretty killable. The AI is doing a bunch of stuff I don't understand today, actually. Well, whatever. More the good for me, I suppose. Like the exiles are stabilizing. If Malekith is devoting too much military force to paying attention to me, it's making it hard for him to actually finish these guys off. If we can buy enough time for that Tomb King faction to recover and continue to kill Negaron armies until they like us, we could actually maybe have a friend. They're going to have a strong dislike for us because of our because of the amount of territory we hold, and then also because of the fact that they probably don't like our faction by default, and then also because of the terrible curse of the sword. But if you can get enough positive treaties with somebody, the weight of the fact that you have a diplomatic past with them can overcome an awful lot of modifiers. It might be worth it to, like, give them some gifts. Just hand off some gold, try to cement that relationship now while the cementing is good. Okay, they did have a second army still in the area. They've done all this hidden encampment nonsense. Hopefully we'll see through that. I would really love to finish them off. We do have the option of just going to where we know that they are and sitting right on top of them, because they won't be able to move away due to the zone of influence, or the zone of control, rather. Poor Lenny Sea Legs is going back in the wounded pile. Yeah, that attack from Malekith is, like, baffling.
Admiral of the fleet.
Okay, so we don't actually want to go anywhere. We have one more turn of sitting and waiting on recruitment. What was I doing with you? You finished your blue line. You got all the important stuff, I think. So I guess at this point, we either want to focus on... I don't think I'm going to go for his spells. We only need one lord in each region who is a dedicated spellcaster, because we're going to be trying to have them fight together a lot of the time, and the Winds of Magic are a shared resource, you know? It's not like each caster gets their own. So he might be a good Redline Lord, then. We could also just try to, like, make him a combat monster, but I'm not too stressed about his ability to melee people. I think he's pretty good. So how much more melee do we want? I'm wondering if I should grab another gunnery mob. You know, 1 or 2 bloated corpses per battle does actually seem to be pretty good. Over here, we failed to detect them, but we know roughly where they are. I'm just going to go stand where I know that they are. Okay. We've spotted an enemy force waiting to ambush. I am so done with you guys. Just die.
The God's victory. It's mine. Sea dog.
Alright, and I think there's no reason for her to stay over here. Curse of Years. Huh. Why is Winds of Death... Why are these not the same color? Why is Curse of Years the color of a passive? Because it's still a casted spell. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Anyway, Wind of Death. Wind of Death is really, really powerful. I'm excited to get to use that. Alright, she has nothing to do over here. I think we just head this way. Toward where we know their other Lizardman army is. Lizardman? Sorry, Beastman. And we'll just... I don't remember exactly where they were, so we could try to run into them in the same way, but I also could just stand here so that they can't get past us. That'll keep Slaver's Point safe for the moment. You definitely need to get on building walls as quickly as possible. For the moment, public order is in an okay place. Over here, I think it's definitely to our benefit to let this this army build up another turn, so I'm not too worried about that. The monoliths do not have room to build anything. Alright, well, I guess we're done with the north. Let's jump back down to the south. So Skrolk didn't move.
The Hornet one disagrees.
That's pretty interesting. I think he's definitely screwed here.
Admiral of the fleet.
My army is not very elite. And unfortunately, we don't have sea legs over here to carve another hero out of his army.
Ahoy!
But this has got to be a win, right? Bones McDonald doesn't have anything in his army that we particularly need to keep alive, and he himself can't be killed. I guess there's not really a reason not to attack here. I'm just wondering if I'm missing something. The fact that they didn't run at all makes me wonder if I'm missing something.
My domain.
Oh, let's go for it.
And plunder. Move, you spineless bags.
He does not have enough movement to escape twice.
Have the booty.
Balance the power bar is saying I'm getting in over my head here. I guess we're going to find out. If it really thought that, though, why would he have retreated the first time? I don't know. There's some weird calculations going on here. So, we are definitely in danger from Lord Skrolk himself. His other characters aren't so dangerous. They're just Plague Priests, which they can only do stuff that Skrolk himself could do, but worse. So these are non-factors in the battle, probably. Except that, as heroes, they do have their own leadership aura, so they will be able to give leadership to the other Skaven. We're going to want to be careful because he is now, I believe he retreated over the line between our regions, so he's in friendly territory now, which means he's going to have access to a lot more charges of that instant Skaven spell. We want to be just down here, right? This looks pretty good to me. And then we'll do Sirens. The mortars will be right here. Sirens spread across like the middle like that, and then we'll do a couple units of you guys, I guess, on this side. Maybe even up here. Then you and the Mourngulls on this side. Loaded Corpse starts up here and just makes the run as soon as the battle begins. This feels to me like it's going to be pretty good for us. I'm very nervous. Very nervous about what I might be missing. Also, man, we started really far apart. They might summon Skaven under my bloated corpse. He has been affected by the Trickster Shard. He has plus 100% chance to miscast. Oh no! Does the AI think that bloated corpses are heroes? Or I can't imagine why it would do such a thing. I guess maybe if you have the ability to Trickster Shard and you can't actually see an enemy, you just use it on whoever. It's weird how they're riding out to meet me. I think we're gonna readjust. Okay. Aha, you fool. I was actually on top of it this time. You will do no damage to my artillery. We're gonna readjust our gun line angle. There's absolutely no reason for it to be lined up the way that it is right now. Roll the mortars forward a little bit too. Honestly, I'm gonna have everybody else move up kind of the same way here. Control is rotate. Yeah. A lot. I'm holding a lot of modifier keys right now. Thank God for N key rollover. Yep, like that, more or less. Okay, this should be resolved basically immediately. I think my keyboard has like 8 key rollover or something. I paid extra for a keyboard that had higher rollover. Granted, I bought this keyboard a lot of years ago. This probably would not be that expensive now. Oh yes, please let me get a unit of Plague Monks with my explosion. Oh, what is this? These are Rat Ogres. I don't want to get them. I want to get the Plague Monks. I'm going to get the Rat Ogres. Oh, okay, I think I caught some of the Plague Monks. This is not a 3-unit job, or a 2-unit job. Okay, that's probably resolved already, actually. You stay on them, because otherwise they will turn back around and come get us. Now they're all running back to the place they started? I feel like they're messing with me. Alright, you know what? We're just going to move up until my artillery is actually in range to fire at them over there. I don't know what weird game they're playing, but... Okay. Chase them successfully all the way off the map. Okay, at this point, they're throwing clan rats at my sirens specifically on purpose. I have no idea why. This is like a terrible waste of this resource, too. Because we're going to have defeated all of their charges of free dudes before the actual battle begins, which is going to make it really hard for them to beat my artillery and guns. We just can't catch them. 48 speed versus 48 speed. How unfortunate. I'm gonna target. Yeah, there we go. Okay, those guys are permanently broken. You can come back. And over here, we've lost sight of them, so you may as well come back as well. Why am I not allowed to draw them? There we go. Okay, so the artillery fire exchange has begun. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of tools to allow us to get an advantage in this exchange. I can shoot at their sensor bearers. Like, honestly, though, we can just wait them out. That is an option that we have. They're going to do more damage to us than we are to them, and then after that, we're still going to beat them. It looks like they're actually marching on us, though. Yeah, I think just stand. Alright, now that they're close enough, I'm going to see if we can get the Mournguls, who are relatively fast, around the side. Up that reload skill. My hope here is that the Mournguls can actually threaten the... either distract them or threaten their artillery a little bit. It doesn't look like they're actually trying to go after us. Alright, they summoned those in the middle of a unit of zombie pirate gunnery mobs, which is like... that is a pretty low impact summon. And I think now is the time when the sirens move up. Lord also has to move up and fight. Okay, here we go. Here comes the actual battle phase. We managed to completely kill their cavalry to the unit. Okay, I think they're going to lose really badly during the melee phase here. They don't have a lot of storm vermin left. They do still have some death globes. Care about that a little bit. But we might be able to just charge them, given that they don't have... they don't have any elite combat heroes or anything anymore. The mortars should be focused on... probably the death globes for right now. And this is going to take a while. They're going to get over there, and they're going to do some damage. And then we want to move our guns around a bit. Like, you've got that angle. That's pretty good. You guys have those clan rats with shields broken almost immediately. What we could do, since we're engaged here, I can try to pull these guys back a little bit, which would open up the angle here. I think that'll be the plan on that side. Mortars are doing good things. You guys have this under control. Fortunately, the sirens were not able to keep all of this stuff together. Yes, try to fall back. The sword and shield storm vermin are almost the only thing that I'm even afraid of over here. Come on. There we go. Wait, it unselected it. Great. This should help. It is at least distracting. So I have to move up a little bit more. Okay, we've broken these guys down. Hold up. A unit of sirens has finished chasing those guys out. And the Mournguls are almost to their destination. Hopefully they'll be able to get something done over here. Is this... yeah, that is the unit. Okay, so I am now firing mortars directly at my hero. Let's buff their accuracy. Please try to miss me. Should we be killing Skrolk? Should I be focusing more on actually killing Skrolk with these units? I'm going to focus on killing Skrolk with these units, maybe. Over here, we're winning this battle pretty handily. Yeah, I'm going to actually turn you to face Skrolk. You guys should stop being sad. They're sad because they're getting hit by a lot of artillery fire. You know, it is what it is. Not a ton I can do about it, honestly. We are doing what we can. Alright, yeah, let's put a little bit more focus on dealing with old Skrolk here. And shooting him a lot is going to be the best way for us to do that. Pretty standard siren move to get scared and start dying because you're winning combat. Alright, getting the damage through on him pretty quickly. He's not actually super tough. Okay, hopefully that can be resolved quickly. Gotta follow those guys. This will hopefully buy a little bit of space for him to run clear. There we go. That spell is very disruptive. Oh, Jesus. Okay. A lot of that missed. We're okay. We're okay. Alright, let's redesign a little bit over here. So I'm noticing that we're taking a lot of artillery fire, I think, is what's responsible for what is happening over here. You guys probably have to turn around. Like, let's try to grind out these clan rats real fast so that we can have some people turn around. This battle is not going as well as I was hoping it was going to be honest with you. This is probably what they were thinking about, is they had figured out that this represented not that poor of an opportunity for them. These Sirens have a thing they can be doing. My Mongols over there are feeling pretty sad. You guys are great at fight. Stop crumbling. Alright, kill the slingers real fast. Focus up on the slingers. Boy, they really do have a lot of charges with that free escaping ability. What was that? That was number 7 or 8 at least.
Enemies wild. Gunnery mob.
Okay, those guys cannot fire while moving. Somehow my unit of Mongols is losing to the combined might of some artillery operators and a couple of slingers. Mongols might just be terrible. We may have to face the reality that Mongols might be horrible. The Haunters are good. Sorry, not you guys. I don't want the Sirens to run in on Skrolk because I don't want to occlude him. The only reason he's not already dead is because of the amount of people who haven't been shooting him. We really want to minimize that. How did Mongols lose to slingers and an artillery crew? That's just... it's very embarrassing. Okay, so that'll be him dead. And once he is, all of these guys can turn around, but I really want them to finish this job. What are you guys doing? There we go. Actually, I guess the Warp Lightning Cannon crews are the next target.
They shall fall.
Get in there on their siege. Unfortunately, it's going to take forever for us to actually get over there. We should have somebody still chasing the Death Globes, but it doesn't have to be these guys. Oof.
Eager to kill.
Yeah, this was definitely more devastating than I predicted. Why are you crumbling? First of all, you're even within the leadership aura here. I was hoping that would reach far enough to hit those guys too. Okay, there we go. There's the final break. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how bad the vampire pirate units are at flanking. Even your fast units, who are, that is traditionally the goal of a unit that moves relatively fast, is to get behind the enemy and like either do hammer and anvil style charges or to attack artillery crews in ranged. Like, you just can't use vampire coast units that way, even if they're statted for it, because they give up and die immediately. It's difficult to imagine that the Mourngulls were actually losing that combat like stats to stats. I think probably the vast majority of the damage they took there was leadership being bad. Granted, they still got some value. We did force the crew off of one of the lightning cannons, and they never got back onto it. But we did not do nearly what I was thinking we were going to do. And of course, his army escapes still alive, because there is no way to ever defeat an enemy army in a meaningful or semi-permanent fashion. Well, we better recruit, because we're going to have to keep pushing next turn. We cannot let them just retreat. You go into encampment mode. I guess, hold on, dig first. Alright, now that we're nice and dug in, encampment mode, we can summon... not very much.
This isn't the gods.
Well, let's grab deckhands, animated hulks, another unit of rifles. There's no artillery in here, unfortunately. We want the bombers. Bombs are actually pretty good. That leaves me with 4 slots left. We could grab the deck droppers. I'm a little bit afraid that the deck droppers will have difficulty being meaningful against... oh, these are the handgun ones, too. Yeah. A little bit trouble being meaningful against the amount of slings that the Skaven are able to bring. Slings are generally not very good range units, but deck droppers don't really have any armor to speak of, so they're pretty effective. So that leaves 4 slots left. Get like a unit of bats to help harass stuff. And then we just need more melee. Okay, it's not ideal, but they're ready to fight right now, and that's really all I can ask. Battle of the Floating Pyramid. Yeah, there's a lot of markers down here. Hopefully some good stuff will get into that pool eventually. Let's take her out of that mode. I don't remember... teleporting may completely kill your movement for the turn. So we probably want to... oh, the required character is currently at sea. Prevents teleportation. Well, it's going to be a long time before I'm not at sea, so I guess I'll just fall back. It will be like we never left at all. I thought you could still teleport if you were at sea, but not in the movement stance. What am I doing? I want to teleport. Okay. 500 gold. Well worth it. Obviously, the 1500 XP doesn't matter. This thing is fine, but this is the real reward here. Oh, they're getting reinforcements, too. You know what? We're an hour and 12 minutes into this video. Not to leave you all in suspense, but I think this is how we'll start up the next video, because this battle looks like it might be a little bit larger. So, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we finally earn our most important Regiment of Renown, also our first actual Regiment of Renown. And we'll see you then.